Welcome to Moonlit Zen Sleep. I'm glad you're here tonight. This is Buddhist teachings for sleep and relaxation. 1 hour of Zen Buddhism to fall asleep. A gentle space where the noise of the day can finally loosen its grip on you. Before we begin, I'd love to know something soft, simple, human. What time is it where you are right now? And where are you listening from? Just leave it in the comments. Only if it feels natural. It helps this small Zen corner feel a little more connected, a little more alive. Now, let's settle into what you came for. Imagine a quiet night settling around you, moonlight spreading over still water, the kind of glow that makes everything softer, quieter, kinder. A distant forest stands like a patient friend. A breeze moves slowly through the trees, carrying the scent of cool earth and night air. In the middle of this peaceful world, a small candle flickers, calm, steady, its warm light touching everything without trying. This is the space we step into tonight, a space where Buddhist teachings don't come as lessons, but as feelings, movements, images that open something soft inside you. Here, wisdom isn't spoken. It's felt like the moon on your skin, the river moving without effort, the sky holding everything without strain. Take one slow inhale, the kind that fills you without tightening anything. Let it out, as if the breath has been waiting all day to slip free. Let your hands rest where they naturally fall. Let your spine arrange itself without instruction. Let your eyes grow heavy, even if they're still open. If a thought rises, no need to push it away. Just let it drift, like a small wave moving across a quiet lake. You're not here to control anything, not the breath, not the mind, not yourself. You're here to allow, to soften, to unravel gently into the night. Feel how the room shifts with you. Feel how the silence begins to hold you. Feel the difference between trying to relax and simply letting relaxation happen. And now, as the rhythm slows, as the night deepens around you, you step into the heart of this practice, a place where Buddhist teachings become lullabies, where breath becomes a quiet prayer, where the mind begins to float, light, unburdened, safe. Let the world outside fade, not away, just farther, like a shoreline you can still see, but no longer need to stand on. Here, under this moonlit stillness, you are guided not by effort, but by surrender. Let the river inside you find its own pace. Let the candle within you glow without being touched. Let the night carry you, the way it carries everything that needs rest. If this space brings you peace tonight, you're always welcome to return. No pressure, no expectation, just a quiet place you can come back to whenever your heart needs softness. Now, drift with me as we step deeper into the teachings, deeper into the calm, deeper into the kind of rest that feels like coming home. The lantern in the stormlight that rises from within. Settle in now. Let the night gather around you, soft, slow, quiet. Feel your breath ease. Feel your shoulders drop. Feel the weight of the day loosen, as if someone gently opened their hand. This is the beginning. This is where the noise fades. This is where the night welcomes you home. And tonight, a story rises with the dark, a calm story, a gentle story, a story shaped by wind and rain, and a small lantern that refuses to die. Let it unfold slowly. Let every image drift toward you. Let your breath follow it. Like a river moving through the dark, there is a mountain path, narrow, old, lined with moss and wet stones. Dark. Rain falls in thin silver sheets. Wind sweeps through the trees. Sharp at first, then softer, like a cold exhale from the sky. And on that path, a lone traveler moves forward, step by step, slow, tired, heavy with thoughts he cannot name. The storm pushes against him. The night pulls at his coat. Every sound echoes louder in the dark. But he keeps walking, not because he's strong, not because he wants to, but because the path keeps calling him on. He lifts his face toward the mountain. He whispers something to the wind. No one hears it, not even himself. And then, just when the night feels endless, a small glow appears ahead. A lantern, faint at first, then brighter, then steady, a single warm flame cutting through the storm. The traveler stops. The rain keeps falling. The wind keeps howling, but he is still, because the lantern shines. Even now, even here, even in this storm, he walks toward the glow, each step lighter than the last. The storm does not change, but something inside him softens. At the top of the path stands a small temple. Wooden beams soaked by rain. Stone steps dark with water. A place that looks forgotten by the rest of the world. And beneath the temple, eaves hangs a lantern. A delicate frame, thin paper walls. A flame that sways but does not give in. The traveler stares. The flame bows, then rises, then bows once more with the wind. But it never breaks, never fails, never dims. Rain hits it, wind shakes it, the storm presses against it. But the lantern learned something the traveler had forgotten. Light knows how to survive. Under the lantern's glow, a figure sits quietly. An old monk, wrapped in a simple robe, eyes half closed, breath soft as falling ash. The traveler hesitates. The monk opens his eyes, as if he already knew someone would appear. He gestures to the wooden step. The traveler sits. They share the silence with the storm. The lantern sways above them. The monk glances at it and smiles. "Do you see it?" he asks softly. The traveler nods. He sees the light. He sees the wind. He sees the battle. But the monk shakes his head gently. "Not the storm," he whispers. "Not the flame." He lifts his hand toward the lantern. "See the courage." The traveler watches closer. The flame bows, but stands again. The paper trembles, but holds its shape. The darkness presses, but never wins. A quiet warmth spreads in his chest, something he hasn't felt in a long time. The monk begins to speak softly, not like a teacher, not like a guide, just like someone sharing a memory with the night. "There was once," he says, "a lantern much like this one." His voice drifts like smoke in the wind. It lived in storms that never rested, winds that never softened, rain that never tired. The traveler listens. The monk's voice falls into rhythm with the storm. The lantern learned that fighting the wind only made its flame wild. So it learned to bow. A pause. A breath. Not in defeat, but in harmony. The flame above them bows as if agreeing. When the wind blew hard, it bent. When the wind eased, it rose. It danced with the storm. Instead of resisting it, the monk's eyes grow soft. The lantern survived not because it was strong, but because it understood how to move with the world. The traveler feels a tightness in his chest begin to loosen. The flame sways again, bowing, rising, unbroken. The monk turns toward the traveler. You have that light too. The traveler blinks. Rain slides from his hair. Wind curls around his coat. You've walked through storms, the monk says, but you've forgotten to look for the lantern inside. The traveler lowers his eyes. He feels the truth of it. Every word, every silence. The monk continues, speaking as gently as lantern light. The world will shake you, but something inside always rises again. The traveler watches the lantern. He sees it now, not just the flame, but the quiet refusal to die. He feels something warm stir under his ribs, faint at first, then steady, a small glow he hasn't felt in years. The rain softens, the wind calms, but the traveler doesn't notice right away. He's watching something shift inside him, not a grand realization, just a small warmth, a gentle softness. The way a flame reaches up after bowing, the way light returns despite the storm. The monk speaks again. Storms come and go. Lanterns remain. The traveler breathes lightly. He lets the truth settle. He lets the warmth spread. He looks at the lantern one more time. The storm tries to shake it again. The flame bows. The flame rises. A dance, not a struggle. And the traveler finally understands, not in words, in feeling, in breath, in the quiet. He too can bow without breaking. He too can rise without force. The light in his chest flickers, then strengthens. When the rain fades, the traveler stands. The monk nods softly. He doesn't speak. He doesn't need to. The traveler steps into the night. The world looks different now, not because the storm is gone, but because something else is glowing inside him. The path shines faintly. Trees drip with silver droplets. The wind hums like a quiet lullaby. He carries no lantern, but he feels its warmth in his chest. A small light, a steady light, a light that rises from within. He follows it. He trusts it. He walks with it into the soft dark. The storm taught him something without a single lesson. The lantern taught him without a single word. Light does not resist the world. Light simply shines, and the traveler shines with it. The traveler walks slowly, letting each step find its own place. The world feels softer now, as if the night has opened its palms and invited him in. The storm clouds drift apart. A thin moon appears above the ridge. It is pale, quiet, gentle, like a teacher who never raises their voice. The traveler breathes in the cold air and feels it warm as it passes his chest. Something has changed. Not the night, not the mountain. Something inside. He touches the center of his chest, right where the warmth gathers. He doesn't fully understand it, but he knows he doesn't have to. Some truths speak without using words. Some, too, the lantern's glow still echoes in his memory. A small light, standing in the wind, bowing, but never breaking. He walks with that image held gently in his mind. It steadies him. It comforts him. It follows him like a quiet companion. The mountain path curves. Wet stones glisten under the thin moonlight. Trees drip softly as the last of the storm slides from their branches. A hush settles over everything. Not silence, but a peaceful stillness born from what has passed. The traveler listens to the rhythm of the night. His footsteps slow. His breath deepens. His thoughts loosen. He feels lighter, not because the path is easy, but because his spirit is no longer fighting the storm. He pauses beside a tree. Rainwater forms tiny rivers down its bark. They move slowly, following the grooves, never resisting the shape of the wood. Water always finds its way. Light always rises. Life always moves towards something new. He realizes that he has spent years trying to fight the world, pushing against the wind, holding every burden like it was his duty to carry forever. But the lantern showed him a different truth. Softness is not weakness. Yielding is not surrender. Light bends, so it can survive. He lets the thoughts settle. He feels the tension in his shoulders melt further. Far below the path, a river begins to sound. At first faint, then clearer, its voice drifting upward through the trees. He walks toward it. The air grows cooler. The smell of wet earth rises gently around him. When he reaches the riverbank, he stands still. The river glows under the moon. Silver, slow, endless. But tonight he sees something else. He sees the way the water curves around each stone, the way it embraces obstacles instead of fighting them, the way it transforms every barrier into part of its journey. Suddenly he hears the monk's story again, not in words, but in feeling. Bow with the wind, rise with the calm, let the world shape you without breaking you. He kneels near the water, touches the surface. It is cold, alive, moving with purpose, even in darkness. The river does not know the meaning of resistance. It only knows flow. A soft sigh escapes him. He feels something uncoil inside his chest. He sits by the river for a long time. No pressure, no destination, no rush. The water moves. The moon moves. The night moves. And he simply breathes. Small thoughts drift through his mind. Memories of things he tried to control. Moments he wished were different. Roads he felt forced to follow. People he tried to hold on to long after his hands were tired. Each memory rises like a wave and fades like a ripple. He touches his chest again. The warmth is still there, steady, quiet, alive. The lantern flame echoes through that warmth. The river's patience echoes through that warmth. The night's softness echoes through that warmth. He realizes this warmth feels familiar, as if it lived inside him long before the storm. It was not given by anyone. Ruch. It was not taught. It was not earned. It was always there. He had only forgotten it. A deep breath rises through him and falls slowly out. Something in that breath feels like forgiveness. Something in that breath feels like release. He looks at the river again. Mundfir. Mundfir. It moves with the same calm no matter how many stones line its path. The river does not blame the stones. The river does not resent the obstacles. The river simply continues. A gentle current, a quiet strength, a soft certainty. He remains by the water until his breath matches its rhythm. Steady, unforced, patient. When he finally stands, the world feels lighter. The trees, the sky, the stones beneath his feet. Or maybe he is the one who is lighter. He takes one last look at the river, letting the image seal itself into his memory. A river that knows its way. A lantern that withstands wind. A traveler who remembers the light within. The path slopes downward. He begins to walk again. His steps softer now. His breath slower. His heart calmer. The storm has left the mountain, but something beautiful remains in its place. A quiet openness. A deep clarity. A feeling like new earth. After hard rain, he walks through that feeling. It wraps around him like a warm cloak. He senses the ground beneath him, moist, dark, alive. Storms always leave nourishment behind. They feed the roots. They soften the soil. They prepare the earth for what comes next. The traveler looks ahead. The path fades into shadow. But he is not afraid. Not anymore. Not with this new warmth guiding him from within. Every hardship unearths something. Every darkness makes room for something new. The traveler can feel it now. He can feel that something is waking beneath the soil. He walks carefully. Each step gentle. Each breath slow. Each thought quiet. A sense of mystery begins to form inside him. A soft question with no words yet. Something like a seed just beginning to swell. He pauses. He listens. He feels the night breathe. The storm did not break him. It prepared him. It loosened the soil inside his life. It made space for something new to take root. He doesn't know what it is yet, but he can feel it, like a faint pulse in the dark earth. And as he walks, he senses the shift inside himself, mirroring the shift beneath the ground. Storms nourish the soil. Pain nourishes the spirit. Silence nourishes the heart. He stops walking. He closes his eyes. He lets the truth settle. Light survives the storm. So do seeds. The light rises from within, and beneath that same light, something deep begins to grow. The night thins around him. A soft breeze moves through the trees. The earth exhales. He opens his eyes, and the path ahead looks different. Not clearer, not brighter, just softer. Softness is enough. Softness is guiding. Softness is the beginning of understanding. He takes one final breath, letting it spill gently into the cool night air. The lantern inside him glows warm. The river inside him flows patiently. The soil beneath him quietly begins to wake. This is the ending of part 1. A lantern in the storm. A traveler in the night. A light that rises from within. And now, deeper, beneath the earth, the seeds wait. They hold a different truth, a quieter truth, a truth born not from light. The clouded cup when the mind finally settles. Settle in again now. Feel the breath soften. Feel the body loosen as the night grows deeper around you. You've walked with the lantern. You've watched the storm fade. You've felt the light return within you. Now, we move inward, slowly, gently, like sinking into warm water. There is a story waiting here. Quiet, simple, as clear as a single drop of rain. Let it rise. Slowly, let it reach you the way night reaches a still lake. Imagine a small temple garden just after heavy rain. The ground is soft, the leaves shimmer, the air smells of wet earth and quiet dawn. A monk walks slowly through this peaceful space. His steps are gentle, his robe heavy from the evening mist. He carries a simple cup, made of thin glass, clear, fragile, light enough to break with one slip of the hand. The cup is empty now, but soon it will hold a teaching shaped by silence and water. The monk reaches a wooden bench beneath an old fig tree. He sits. He sets the cup down. He waits, and somewhere inside you, your breath begins to match the stillness of this scene. Inhale, like lifting the cup. Exhale, like placing it gently on the wooden surface. The same traveler from the stormy path walks into the garden. His clothes are dry now, his steps softer, his heart a little warmer than before. He bows to the monk. The monk smiles as if expecting him. "Come," the monk says. "Sit with me." The traveler sits beside the wooden table. The garden hums quietly, with dripping leaves. Everything feels washed clean. Everything feels softer after the storm. The monk lifts the empty cup. He holds it up to the fading light. The traveler watches. He feels something shift again, like a whisper inside his chest. Your mind, the monk says, is like this cup. The traveler breathes slowly. The garden grows quiet. A single drop of water slides from a fig leaf and lands near his foot. The monk rises and fills the cup from a small clay jar. The water is clear as moonlight. He places the cup in front of the traveler. Then, without warning, he reaches down and stirs the soil at his feet. He lifts a pinch of earth, dark, wet, pure from the storm. He drops it into the clean water. The traveler watches the water cloud instantly, a swirl of brown, ripples of darkness. The clarity lost. This, the monk says softly, is how the mind looks when stirred by worry. The traveler nods without thinking. He recognizes the cup. He recognizes the cloudiness. It feels like the thoughts that kept him awake at night. It feels like the noise he carries inside. The monk does not speak again. He simply sits. He waits. The traveler waits too, breathing slowly, watching the water calm. The soil begins to settle. Grain by grain, moment by moment, the water grows clearer without being touched. The traveler leans closer. A soft recognition rises within him. The monk whispers, "You see? It clears by itself." The traveler watches as the dirt sinks to the bottom of the cup, leaving the upper water calm and bright. No force, no effort, no commands. Just stillness, just patience, just the quiet work of letting things settle. The monk closes his eyes. The traveler follows. 2 breaths, then 3, then 4. When he opens his eyes again, the water is almost clear. A few clouds remain, but even they begin to fall gently toward the bottom. He feels something identical inside his chest. A slow falling, a loosening, a settling. Like his own thoughts are grains of soil finding their rest. The monk reaches for the cup again. He lifts it. He swirls it suddenly. The water clouds instantly. Brown, murky, chaotic again. The traveler flinches. His chest tightens. The chaos feels familiar. The monk sets the cup down. He says nothing. He simply waits. Slowly, the water begins to clear once more. The traveler feels a small ache inside. Not sadness, recognition. He whispers, "This is my mind." The monk smiles softly. He nods. The water settles. The ache eases. The garden breathes. The traveler realizes the truth quietly. The mind unsettles when stirred. It returns to clarity when left alone. He doesn't need to silence everything. He doesn't need to fix each thought. He doesn't need to fight the noise. He only needs to stop swirling the cup. The monk runs his finger along the cup's rim. A soft, ringing tone echoes across the garden. "You chase answers," the monk murmurs, but answers come when the water stops moving. The traveler lowers his eyes. Not in shame, but in understanding. He sees how many storms he created himself, how many moments he stirred without meaning to, how many worries he churned with restless hands. A leaf falls beside him, light, effortless, free. The wind carries it onward, leaving the garden more peaceful than before. The monk lifts the cup. The water now glows with near-perfect clarity. "You see?" he whispers. The settling happens on its own. The traveler breathes deeply. He lets his mind settle the way the water does. Quietly, patiently, without force. For the first time in a long time, His chest feels light. The garden grows darker. The moon rises. Crickets begin their soft song. The traveler sits still beside the cup. He watches tiny grains of silt drop one by one to the bottom. He feels a matching quiet inside his ribs. Breath moves gently. Thoughts lose their sharp edges. Feelings soften like wet soil returning to the earth. He touches his chest without knowing why. Something inside has changed shape. Not dramatically, but enough. The clouded places in his heart begin to settle too. His regrets, his fears, his doubts, his questions, all of them fall a little lower, grow a little quieter, rest a little deeper, like soil returning to stillness. The monk watches him quietly, his smile soft, his hands relaxed. He knows the traveler is seeing what cannot be taught. Clarity is not created. It is revealed. When the stirring stops, the monk lifts the cup again. He holds it toward the moon. The water shines, clear, deep, undisturbed. He turns to the traveler. "Your mind," he whispers, "was never broken." The traveler breathes a little deeper. It was only moving. A long silence follows, not empty, but rich, filled with night air, filled with cricket song, filled with soft rain still dripping from the leaves. The monk sets the cup down. He closes his eyes. The traveler does the same. Their breaths fall into the same rhythm. Soft, low, slow. The garden becomes a cradle of quiet. The traveler feels the shift again. Not a flash, not an insight, not a breakthrough, just a falling away, a loosening, a gentle letting go from a deep place. Clouds leaving the sky, silt sinking in water, thoughts drifting without force. He whispers to himself, "My mind is settling." The words disappear into the night. The monk opens his eyes. He looks at the cup, then at the traveler. "It is ready," he says. The traveler looks too. The water is clear, completely clear, like a small mirror for the moon. He sees his own reflection, soft around the edges, gentler than before. He sees the monk, he sees the tree, he sees the sky, all reflected in a cup that once was cloudy. He breathes slowly. He feels a new stillness inside his chest. Not emptiness, not numbness, just peace, quiet, deep, born from settling. The monk stands. He gestures toward the path. "Tonight," he says, "you learned something the river already knew." The traveler nods. He doesn't need more explanation. He understands in the only way that matters, through feeling. He rises. The garden seems brighter. The moon seems warmer. The night seems softer. He carries the image of the clear cup inside his chest. He walks toward the path, his footsteps light, his breath calm, his spirit steady. The monk watches him go, not with concern, but with quiet trust. The traveler moves past the fig tree, past the wooden bench, toward the open earth, and the ground feels different beneath his feet, richer, darker, alive, with new possibility. Because after clarity comes growth, after settling comes awakening. The seeds beneath the soil are waiting, waiting for stillness, waiting for softness, waiting for the quiet that follows storms. He steps forward. He feels the earth welcome him. The night deepens. His breath slows. His thoughts fall quiet. The unlit lamp understanding yourself to end the inner collision. Settle in again. Feel the breath deepen. Feel the night wrap around you like a soft, warm blanket. You have walked through storms. You have watched water clear. You have seen light rise inside you. Now, we enter a deeper place, a quieter place, a place where the heart learns to stop colliding with itself. Breathe gently. Let the exhale fall slowly into the space beneath your ribs. Tonight's story begins inside an old meditation hall hidden behind the bamboo grove. Let the scene take shape slowly, as softly as a lamp waiting for flame. The path carries the traveler toward a wooden building with dark, ancient walls. The meditation hall stands with quiet dignity, its wooden frame still damp with storm water, its sliding doors closed as if guarding a secret. The traveler approaches, his steps soft, his breath steady, his heart open. He slides the door with both hands. It glides smoothly, as if the hall has been waiting for someone gentle enough to enter. Inside, everything is still. The air is cool. The floor smells of old cedar. Moonlight spills through a high window like a single thought falling into a calm mind. At the center of the room sits an old lamp, small, round, made of dark bronze, its surface carved with delicate patterns of mountains and clouds. But the lamp has never been lit. Not once. Not ever. It waits in silence. It waits in the dark. It waits for the moment when flame will finally rise. The traveler walks closer. His footsteps echo softly. His breath deepens without effort. The lamp feels familiar, not because he has seen it, but because he understands what it means to be filled with potential, yet untouched by flame. He kneels beside it. He studies it. He feels the quiet truth sleeping inside its cold frame. A voice rises behind him. You found it. A young novice stands in the doorway, barefoot, calm, eyes deep with patience. He walks forward and bows. This lamp, he whispers, has never burned. The traveler looks again. He feels the truth of it. There are no scorch marks, no smoke stains, no melted wax, just silence and waiting. The novice kneels across from him. I have tried, the novice says, many nights. His voice trembles slightly. I tried to make it burn. The traveler watches him. The novice lowers his eyes. I thought if I could light this lamp, my mind would finally calm. A breath, soft, sad. I thought the flame would stop the noise inside me. The traveler feels a quiet ache rise, because he knows that feeling. He knows the collision that happens inside us when we want peace but force ourselves toward it. The novice opens a small box. Inside lies a bundle of wicks, dry, untouched. He lifts one gently, as if afraid it might break. I tried to light them all, he whispers. I tried every wick, every method, every night. The traveler asks softly, what happened? The novice closes his eyes. Nothing, he says. No flame, no spark, not even smoke. He holds the wick between trembling fingers. Something inside me was fighting itself, and the lamp stayed dark. The traveler remembers the clouded cup, the swirling water, the soil that refused to settle when stirred. He sees the same collision inside the novice, a mind trying to force calm, a heart pushing against its own fear, a spirit fighting to be still. The traveler places a hand over his chest. He understands too well. The novice sets the wick down. His voice breaks into a whisper. I thought I was broken. The hall grows quiet, not empty, but tender. Moonlight touches the lamp. Dust floats like pale ghosts in the beam of light. The traveler speaks softly. Show me how you tried. The novice nods. He takes a wick. He places it inside the lamp. His hands shake. Slightly, he strikes a flint. A spark jumps, flickers, falls away. He tries again, and again, and again. Sparks fill the air, but the wick remains cold. No flame rises. No glow begins. The novice lowers the flint. His hands fall to his lap. "It doesn't work," he whispers. "I don't work." The traveler looks at the lamp. He feels something deeper here. Something hidden beneath the attempt and failure. A truth waiting to be uncovered. He reaches forward. He lifts the lamp. It feels heavier than it looks. Cold metal, old metal, metal that has held silence for years. He tilts it gently. A faint sound moves inside. A thick sound. A soft blockage. He opens the lamp. Inside is hardened wax. Layered. Old. Cold. Uneven. Crowding the space where fire should live. The novice gasps. He leans closer. "I never opened it," he whispers. "I tried to light it as it was." The traveler holds the lamp between them. "No flame can rise," he says softly. When the path is blocked, the novice trembles. Not from fear, from recognition. Inside the lamp, the wax sits like a frozen memory. Thick, solid, unmoving. Just like the places inside a person where old hurts sleep without melting. Just like the parts of the heart that never softened because life moved too fast to let them warm. The novice touches the wax. Coldness meets his skin. A tear falls before he can stop it. The traveler looks at him gently. "You were never broken," he whispers. "You were blocked." The novice trembles, his breath unsteady, his eyes wet. Inside the lamp, the hard wax glints in the moonlight. The traveler lifts it higher. He studies the hardened shapes. He sees old struggles, old beliefs, old wounds that refuse to soften. The novice watches him. His voice cracks. "How do I remove it?" The traveler sets the lamp down. He answers in a whisper as soft as the night. "You don't remove it." A pause. A breath. "You melt it." The novice closes his eyes. A shiver moves through him. The traveler continues in a gentle murmur. "All things melt when warmed. Even the hardest wax." The novice nods slowly. Tears fall again. Not from sadness, but from release. Because he knows now that his lamp did not fail. His heart was only cold. And coldness is not brokenness. It is a place waiting for warmth. The traveler takes the lamp. He carries it to a small brazier near the wall. Ash sleeps inside it. Old, soft, warm with memory. He kneels beside it. The novice kneels too. The traveler holds the lamp near the glowing coals. Not touching, just close. Heat rises slowly. Soft waves, tender waves, waves that meet the hardened wax inside the lamp. The novice watches through blurred eyes. The heat works silently, gently, patiently. A thin bead of wax softens, another follows. A slow surrender. Nothing dramatic, nothing forced. Just warmth meeting coldness, just tension melting under kindness. Just the heart opening the way wax opens beneath heat. The novice covers his mouth. His breath shakes. The traveler whispers, "You see? It melts." The wax continues to soften. It loosens. It shifts. It begins to move into its true shape. The novice leans forward. His voice barely a breath. "I never needed force." The traveler nods. "You needed warmth." As the wax melts, the novice feels something melting inside him. The tension he carried for years. The fear that kept him rigid. The doubt that froze him in place. All of it begins to soften like wax in heat. Tears fall. Not loud, not painful. Soft tears, warm tears. Tears that mean the collision inside him has stopped. He whispers, "Something is changing." The traveler nods. Yes. Inside the lamp, the wax becomes liquid, smooth, clear, ready for a wick, ready for flame, ready to shine. The novice lifts a new wick. His fingers no longer shake. He places it inside the lamp with steady care. The traveler hands him the flint. The novice breathes once, then again, then one more time. He strikes the flint. A spark rises. It touches the wick, and this time, a tremble. A tiny flame catching gently at the edge of the wick. The novice gasps. The traveler smiles. The flame grows. Soft, small, steady. The lamp is no longer unlit. It shines. It shines because the collision ended. It shines because warmth softened what force never could. It shines because the novice finally stopped fighting himself. The flame sways slightly. It bows. It rises. It dances. Without fear. The novice watches it. With swollen eyes, he feels warmth touch his chest. He feels clarity touch his mind. He feels compassion touch his heart. He whispers, "The flame was waiting." The traveler nods. Yes, the flame glows brighter. Its light fills the entire hall. Soft, gold, warm, gold. A quiet sunrise inside a silent room. The novice closes his eyes. The light touches every corner of him. He feels lighter, warmer, more whole. The inner collision has ended. He breathes slowly. One breath, then two, then three. He whispers, "I feel calm." The traveler places a gentle hand on his shoulder. "You feel you." The lamp shines on. The night outside the meditation hall feels warmer now. Not because the air has changed, but because something inside the traveler has softened. He steps slowly onto the stone path. The novice follows. Their footsteps fall like whispered notes on the quiet ground. The flame inside the hall glows behind them. Its warm light spills through the open doorway. It flickers on the ground, then fades as they move deeper into the night. The traveler turns once to look back. The lamp shines softly like a small moon resting inside the hall. A reminder that light appears when the heart is ready, not when the mind demands it. He breathes a long, slow breath, letting the memory of the flame settle into him. The novice stands beside him. He touches his chest as if feeling the echo of the lamp. "It feels warm here," he whispers. The traveler nods. He feels the same warmth inside his own ribs. They begin walking again. The path curves gently between low stone walls. Leaves brush their shoulders. The night hums softly with cicada song. The storm has left small puddles on the ground. Moonlight gathers in them. Silver pools glimmering like calm thoughts returning to a quiet mind. The traveler steps carefully. He watches the reflections ripple under his feet. He sees the moon shimmer and break, then become whole again. He thinks of the lamp, of the hardened wax, of how it melted only when warmed. He remembers how often he tried to force himself into clarity, into peace, into stillness, and how nothing changed until he stopped fighting. The novice walks quietly beside him. Their silence feels full, not empty, a silence that heals without speaking. They reach a line of tall cedar trees. Their trunks rise like guardians watching over the night. The novice stops. He places both hands on one of the trunks. Its bark is rough, its strength steady. He whispers, "I pushed myself for so long." The traveler stands beside him. He rests his palm on the same trunk. He feels the cedar's calm move into his hand. The novice continues. I thought if I tried harder, I would finally be at peace. The traveler closes his eyes. He knows this feeling too. He knows the tightness, the pressure, the inner collision between who he is and who he thinks he must be. He murmurs softly. Trying harder made you colder. The novice nods. His breath shakes. They stand together beneath the tall trees, their hands resting on ancient bark, their hearts resting in new warmth. The night deepens. The moon climbs higher. The wind moves gently through the branches. It sounds like the world breathing. The novice lowers his head. I was afraid of disappointing myself. The traveler's eyes soften. And that fear, he whispers, froze the wax inside you. A tear slips down the novice's cheek. He does not hide it. The traveler does not look away. He lets the moment deepen. He lets the silence hold them. He knows that understanding does not need words. It needs space, warmth, patience, the same things that melted the wax. The wind carries the scent of cedar needles. The trees sway in slow rhythm. The traveler speaks gently. When a heart fights itself, no flame can rise. The novice exhales a long, trembling breath. He feels the truth settle. He feels the collision loosen. He feels the warmth inside him grow wider. They walk again, deeper into the trees. The earth becomes softer, the air cooler. The novice stops suddenly. He lifts a hand. He listens. The traveler listens too. A faint sound. Soft, delicate, barely there. He tilts his head. It is the sound of tiny bells hanging from a gate ahead. They move with the lightest breeze. A soft chiming. A quiet invitation. The path widens. A small wooden gate appears. Its frame is old. Its roof covered with moss and fallen needles. The bells shimmer under moonlight. Their sound is almost a whisper. The novice steps closer. He lifts his hand and touches a bell. It rings. Once. Clear. Pure. Like a single breath clarifying the entire night. The traveler watches. He feels the sound ripple through his chest. The novice speaks softly. When I heard these bells during meditation, I felt calm. He touches another bell. The tone drifts. Longer. Gentler. But when I chased that calm feeling, I lost it. The traveler smiles faintly. Yes, he whispers. Chasing peace creates noise. The novice closes his eyes. He lets the bell tone fade. Slowly. Naturally. Like breath. Dissolving. Into silence. The traveler watches him. He sees the shift inside. The flame that woke in the hall now spreads through the novice's chest. Not bright. Not loud. Just warm. A warmth that holds more meaning than light. They pass through the gate. The bells chime softly as they walk beneath them. Inside the gate is a clearing. Soft earth. Low grass. A single stone bench standing in the center like an altar to quiet things. The novice sits first. The traveler sits beside him. The clearing holds a deeper silence than anywhere else tonight. A silence that feels ancient. Alive. The novice stares at his hands. He turns them slowly, as if seeing them for the first time. I wanted so badly to be calm, he whispers. The traveler nods. I know. I tried to force it. I know. I tried to light the lamp by striking harder. I know. The novice breathes in a shaky inhale. But all I needed was warmth. The traveler closes his eyes. A soft smile touches his lips. Yes. The novice rests his palms on his knees. He lets his shoulders drop. He lets his breath slow. He lets himself be warm for the first time in years. The traveler feels his own heart soften. The clearing feels like a cradle of calm. They sit quietly, breathing, resting, letting the night settle around them. A small insect glows near the grass, a firefly. Its light faint, its presence soft. The novice watches it. He whispers, "Even tiny light is beautiful." The traveler nods, "Especially tiny light." The firefly rises. It drifts upward. It circles once, twice, then disappears into the dark leaves. The novice breathes deeper. Inside his chest, the flame grows just a little brighter. The traveler feels the same glow in his own heart. Warm, steady, alive. The novice's voice is barely a breath. It wasn't the lamp that was unlit. The traveler turns to him. "It was me." He nods slowly. "And now?" the traveler asks. The novice places a hand over his heart. "I'm warming." The traveler feels a quiet joy, because warmth is the beginning of all light. The clearing grows darker. The moon shifts behind passing clouds. The traveler stands. The novice rises with him. They walk back toward the gate. The bells ring softly as they pass. Their tones drift like gentle reminders of everything they learned tonight. Warmth melts hardness. Softness ends collision. Light rises from inside. They reach the path again. The novice turns to the traveler. "Thank you," he whispers. The traveler shakes his head. "You lit the lamp," he murmurs. "Not me." The novice bows deeply. This time, his bow contains no strain, no fear, no tightness, only gratitude, only softness, only warmth. He turns and walks toward the temple. His steps are slow, peaceful, alive. The traveler watches him go. He smiles. Then he turns toward the deeper forest. The soil beneath him feels warm, rich, ready, because something new waits ahead. Something that rises when the heart finally stops fighting itself. A place where letting go becomes freedom. A place where wind and openness teach the final lesson. The traveler walks forward. Each breath soft, each step quiet, each thought clear. And somewhere above, a kite waits to ride the wind. The kite in the wind, letting go to become free. Settle in again. Let your breath soften. Let your shoulders grow heavy as the night draws you deeper into its quiet heart. You have walked the storm. You have watched water clear. You have melted old hardness into gentle light. Now, you enter the final teaching, the most peaceful one, the softest one, a lesson shaped not by struggle, but by surrender. Tonight's story begins at the edge of a quiet village, where the wind carries a sound like laughter, a sound like freedom. Breathe slowly, and let the scene take form. Past the bamboo grove, past the old meditation hall, past the calm garden where the cup settled, there lies an open field, wide, golden, stretching beneath the sky like a warm blanket spread by the sun. Grass sways gently. Crickets sing softly. The last colors of sunset fade into deep blue. And in the center of that wide field, a child stands, small, against the sky, holding a bright red kite in both hands. The traveler stops at the edge of the field. He watches quietly. He breathes slowly. The wind lifts the child's hair. The child lifts the kite. The traveler feels something warm inside him, a memory of innocence, a memory of letting go. He steps forward. The grass brushes his ankles. The air tastes cool and sweet. The child turns. Their eyes meet. The child smiles. Will you watch? The child asks softly. The traveler nods, and the wind begins its gentle pull. The child holds the kite with both hands. The breeze brushes the paper. It flutters. It trembles. It waits. The child takes a breath. A determined breath. A breath full of effort. He runs. The kite rises. 1 foot, 2 feet, then crashes. The child frowns. He lifts the kite again. He tries again. He runs harder. The kite drags. It stutters. It falls. The traveler watches silently. He remembers the novice and the lamp. He remembers the collision inside the heart when we try too hard. The child tries again. This time harder, faster, more forceful. The kite jerks upward, then slams into the earth. The child sighs. A small sigh. A tired sigh. The traveler steps forward. He kneels beside the child. "May I help?" he asks gently. The child nods. Just once. The traveler studies the child's small hands. How tightly they grip the string. How tense their fingers are. How strained their shoulders feel. He whispers, "You are holding it too tightly." The child blinks. "Want it fly away?" The traveler smiles. "Only if you try to control the wind." The child looks upward. The wind rustles the grass. The sky glows with new moonlight. The traveler places a gentle hand over the child's grip. "Loosen," he whispers. "Just a little." The child breathes. The fingers relax. The string softens. The wind lifts lightly. The kite rises. Just a little, then settles again. The child's eyes widen. The traveler stands. The child stands too. They face the wind together. The field opens wide before them. The sky deepens toward night. Again, the traveler whispers. The traveler places a hand on the child's back. "Don't run," he murmurs. "Just feel." The breeze arrives. Soft at first, gentle, kind, like a friend touching your shoulder. The child breathes in. The shoulders soften. The fingers loosen. The kite trembles. The breeze deepens. The paper flutters softly. The traveler whispers, "Let the wind take it." The child releases a tiny bit of string. The kite rises. 3 feet, 4 feet, then settles again. Not a crash. Not a failure. Just a soft landing into grass. The child smiles. A real smile. A quiet, hopeful smile. They try again. This time the child loosens a little more. The kite lifts higher, sways, dips, then falls gently to the earth. No frustration, just curiosity. The traveler nods. "You're learning." The child's eyes shine. Learning what? The traveler kneels so their eyes meet. Learning to trust the wind. The sky darkens into deep blue. A single bright star appears above the field. The child holds the kite again. The traveler kneels behind them. "Feel the wind first," he whispers. The child closes their eyes. A breeze lifts the grass. It brushes their cheeks. It moves the hem of the traveler's coat. The child breathes softly. "I feel it." The traveler nods. "Now, loosen your grip." The child exhales. The fingers unwind. The string slackens just enough. The wind catches. The kite lifts. A smooth rise. A gentle climb. It rises 10 feet, 20, 30. The child gasps. The traveler smiles. The kite dips once. The child tightens instinctively. The kite stumbles. It falters. Breathe. The traveler whispers. The child breathes in and out. The fingers loosen again. The kite steadies. It climbs higher. The child laughs softly. A light, airy laugh, carried by the wind. The traveler feels a warm joy spill into his chest. The kite rides the breeze, floating, circling, dancing, free. The child watches in awe. It flies. They whisper. The traveler touches the child's shoulder. It always could. The wind carries the kite higher and higher. The child's grip becomes gentle, soft, relaxed. They are no longer trying to control the wind. They are moving with it. And the kite responds to this freedom by rising into the open night. The field grows quiet. The wind becomes a soft, steady breath. The kite floats like a small star tethered to earth by a single thread. The child stands completely still. The traveler stands beside them. Neither speaks. The moment holds a complete peace, a simple truth woven into the air. Some things rise only when released. After a long while, the child asks softly, "Why did it fly now?" The traveler looks at the kite gently. "Because you stopped holding it down." The child tilts their head. "I wasn't trying to hold it down." The traveler nods. "I know. You were trying to keep it safe." The child's breath catches slightly. But safety, the traveler continues, is not the same as freedom. The kite circles slowly in the air. Its tail flickers like a small flame. The child watches. Their eyes soften, letting go. They whisper, "Doesn't mean losing." The traveler smiles. It means trusting. A breeze lifts the kite. It rises higher. It glows against the night. The child loosens just a little more. The kite climbs into deeper sky. The traveler feels something open in his own heart. A space long held tight, finally exhaling. The sky above them widens, darkens, welcomes the kite into its vast embrace. The child whispers, "It looks happy." The traveler nods. "So do you." The field is quiet now. The stars begin to appear. One, then another, then an entire handful. The kite floats among them, like it has finally found its home. The child slowly sits in the grass. The traveler sits beside them. The wind cools. The night deepens. The world settles. The child folds their hands in their lap. "I thought letting go would hurt." They whisper. The traveler looks upward. "It hurts only when we cling." The kite dips gently. The string relaxes. The wind sings softly between the knots. The child speaks again. "Why did loosening work?" The traveler answers quietly. "Because wings cannot open in a clenched hand." The child closes their small fingers, then opens them again. The traveler watches the simple motion. A lesson in silence, a lesson in release, a lesson in trust. The child rests their head on the traveler's arm. They whisper. It feels lighter. The traveler closes his eyes. So do you. The kite flies so high now. It looks like a tiny heart beating in the stars. The child watches with half-closed eyes. Sleepy, calm, safe. The traveler adjusts the string gently. He feels the wind carry it. He feels the air hold it. He feels the freedom in it. He hands the string back to the child. The child grips it softly. No fear, no tightness. Just trust. They whisper. What if the wind takes it higher? The traveler leans closer. Then let it rise. The child nods, sleepy warmth spreading through their voice. And if the wind takes it far away? The traveler runs his hand through the child's hair. Then it will return in another form. The child smiles faintly. Their eyelids grow heavy. Their breath slows. The kite sways in slow circles above them. The stars shimmer quietly. The sky deepens into endless blue-black peace. Everything around them feels soft now. Gentle, tender, gentle, like a lullaby sung by the night itself. The traveler lays back in the grass. The child leans against him. The wind quiets. The kite drifts into stillness. Their breaths fall into the same rhythm, soft, slow, peaceful, and the traveler whispers into the child's hair, "The wind is your friend. Trust it. Trust yourself." The field grows silent. Only the soft hum of night remains. The kite floats above them like a tiny moon, waiting for morning. The child is half asleep now, their breath deep, their body warm. They whisper, "I feel free." The traveler closes his eyes. "You are." The wind touches them gently. The grass sways in slow harmony. The sky holds them with endless patience. Freedom feels like this. Not escape, not running, not control. Freedom feels like loosening your grip and letting life rise in its own way. The traveler breathes deeply. He understands something he had never felt before. Letting go is not the end. It is the beginning. The child whispers, "Will the kite fall?" The traveler smiles softly. When the wind rests, the kite rests. The child's eyes close. "And when I rest," the traveler whispers, "you rise." Time moves quietly. The night grows darker. The child sleeps against the traveler's chest. The kite hovers like a dream caught in the sky. A faint glow touches the horizon, very faint, barely there, the first breath of morning. The wind softens. The kite drifts downward, slowly, slowly, slowly. It lands gently on the grass. The child does not wake. Their hand loosens on the string. The traveler lifts the kite from the ground. He looks at it with soft eyes. It carries no sadness, no disappointment, only peace. A peace that mirrors the child. He carries the sleeping child back toward the village. The grass hushes beneath his steps. The sky lightens behind him. The world breathes. And inside his chest a truth settles. To rise you must release. To fly you must loosen. To live you must trust the wind. The traveler steps past the field, past the grove, back toward the temple path. The child sleeps peacefully in his arms. The wind brushes past them one last time, soft, warm, loving, a farewell, a blessing, a reminder. He looks back at the open field. The kite lies in the grass, waiting for morning, waiting for sky, waiting for wind, waiting to rise again. The traveler whispers into the quiet dawn, "Be free." He turns. He walks forward. The night fades. The world softens. The teaching ends. And your breath slows with it. The wind quiet inside you now. The sky open inside you now. Freedom resting inside you now. This is the end of our final chapter. This is the beginning of your quiet sleep. The traveler walks slowly, the child still sleeping softly in his arms, and the path beneath his feet glows faintly in the first touch of dawn. But something within him has changed completely, a lightness that was not there before, a softness he had forgotten how to feel, a quiet trust settling into every breath. He looks down at the child's peaceful face, the lashes resting gently, the lips curved into a faint dream smile, a warmth that radiates like quiet sunrise. He wonders, Was it the child who learned from him tonight? Or was it he who learned from the child? The answer rises inside him like a lantern spark. Both. Always both. He keeps walking. The bamboo leaves glow. The stones along the path shine with morning dew. The world feels as if it is breathing with him. Slow, warm, deep. As he nears the temple gate, a breeze moves past him again. A familiar breeze. The same gentle rhythm that lifted the kite into the sky. The traveler stops. A soft sound escapes them. Not discomfort, just a sleepy shift. The traveler tilts his head and listens. The breeze carries a whispering sound, almost like a voice, almost like the wind itself, offering one last teaching, a whisper saying, "You can set down what you no longer need." The traveler closes his eyes. His heart trembles, not with fear, with recognition, because he knows exactly what the whisper means. The kite was only the beginning, a symbol, a mirror, a gentle guide. But the real weight, the true tension, the old tightness inside him, that is what the wind speaks of now. He stands still, in the middle of the path. The child sleeps against his shoulder. The wind circles them like a soft embrace, and he begins to see what he must release. Not a person, not a memory, not a failure, something deeper. His need to control what was never his to hold. His need to shape the world with force instead of trust. His need to grip the string of his life so tightly that nothing could breathe. He opens his eyes slowly. The bamboo trees sway gently. Their shadows stretch softly across the temple stones. He breathes in. He feels the heaviness he has carried for far too long. He breathes out. He loosens his grip inside his heart, just like the child, just like the kite, just like the wind always wanted him to. The traveler enters the temple hall, where the other novices sleep. The candles burn low. The air is cool. Peace rests in every corner. He lays the child on a soft mat beside a small window where morning light begins to form. He covers them gently with a folded blanket. The child murmurs softly and curls closer to sleep. The traveler sits beside them for a moment, just watching, just breathing. Then his eyes drift to the far side of the hall, to a familiar lantern sitting quietly near the altar. The lantern from before, the one that flickered in rain and fear, the one that taught him about inner storms, the one that refused to stay lit when he fought the wind instead of moving with it. He rises. He approaches it slowly. The wick inside the lantern is cold now, still, dark, but he is not disappointed, not anymore. He lifts the lantern with calm hands. He carries it to the doorway where dawn light rises. He watches the wick. He remembers the river. He remembers the cup. Dawn, dawn, dawn. He remembers the child. He remembers the kite. He breathes softly and lights the lantern once more. The flame forms gently this time. No resistance, no struggle. Just a soft glow, a warm pulse, a quiet acceptance. The traveler understands. The lantern was never broken. The wind was never the enemy. The darkness was never a threat. All of it was teaching him the nature of freedom, the nature of letting go, of trusting, of rising. The lantern glows brighter as the morning strengthens. The flame dances without fear. The traveler sets it down on the windowsill beside the sleeping child. The light touches the child's cheek. It glows like hope returned. The traveler whispers, "Thank you," not to the lantern, not to the child, not to the night, to life itself, to the wind, to the sky, to the gentle truth that letting go is not losing, it is opening. He steps outside again. The hall behind him glows softly. The morning air cools his skin. In the distance, the empty field waits beyond the bamboo grove, but something still hangs in the air. A feeling, a whisper, a presence, a final message the night wants him to hear before it fully gives way to the sun. He closes his eyes. The breeze returns. Barely there, a lingering breath of the night. And in that breath, and that quiet and that softness, he hears, "You cannot rise while carrying what was meant to fall away." He feels the truth, down to his bones. All his life he held to things that felt necessary, old guilt, old fears, old expectations, old stories, old versions of himself, tied tightly like knots on a string. And tonight, the wind untied them, one by one. The river washed them, the cup cleared them, the lamp revealed them, the kite released them. He breathes deeply. The last knot loosens. A weight lifts. A space opens. Silence settles, where struggle once lived, and the dawn continues to rise, slowly. The traveler walks to the stone steps leading toward the forest path. The grass glimmers with early dew. Birdsong begins in quiet bursts. The world awakens in gentle colors. He feels different, not in a dramatic way, not in a heroic way, but in a true way. His chest feels spacious. His breath feels easy. His steps feel light. He knows there will be storms again. There will be cups clouded again. There will be lamps dimming again. There will be kites trembling again. Life will always shift, always move, always shape him. But he also knows how to move with it now, how to loosen, how to breathe, how to trust. He whispers into the air, "I am free." The wind responds, a soft gust lifting the hem of his robe. Yes, it seems to say, "You are." Now let the story flow back into you. Let its images settle inside your breath. Let its rhythm soften your entire body. Feel the wind inside your lungs. Feel the kite inside your heart. Feel the release inside your mind. Let everything loosen just a little more. Let every tight place soften and warm. Let every burden slip from your shoulders. The night that guided the traveler now surrounds you too. The wind that lifted the kite now holds you gently. The lantern that found its flame now glows in your chest. Let go, just a little more. Let go of the old story. Let go of the noise. Let go of everything that does not need to rise with you. Breathe, rest, soften, open. You are the kite now. The wind knows its way, and it will carry you exactly where you need to go. There is nothing left to hold, nothing left to chase, nothing left to resist. Only the wind, only the sky, only this moment, only this breath. You are safe now. You are held now. You are free now. Let the night carry you inward. Let the silence carry you deeper. Let the wind carry you to sleep. Drift quietly, slowly, deeply into the softness that waits for you. This is the end of the final teaching and the beginning of your peaceful rest. Let your breath soften again. Let the night gather around you. You've walked far in this quiet hour, through river and storm, through lantern light and settling waters, through a sky that opened just enough to let your heart breathe again. And now, you've arrived here, in this final, gentle moment, where nothing is required of you. Just rest, just breath, just this. Feel the weight of your body sinking. Feel the softness under you. Feel the air settling like warm dust in sunlight. The journey tonight was never about effort, never about learning, never about trying to become anything. It was simply a return, a slow drift inward, towards something you always carried, like a lantern that glows quietly even when storms pass overhead, like a river that keeps moving even when rocks block its path, like a cup that clears when the hands stop shaking, like a kite that rises when the grip finally loosens. These images stay with you now, not as lessons, but as feelings, soft feelings, wordless feelings. You don't need to remember them. Just hold the sense of them, the warmth, the shapes, the calm. Let them float through you like moonlight on water. Feel your breath slow, not because you force it, but because the night is breathing for you now. In, like cool river air. Out, like a lantern sighing after a long night. Your shoulders loosen. Your chest widens. Your thoughts drift like small boats no longer tied to the shore. Let them go. Let them move where they want to move. There is nothing to fix, nothing to solve, nothing to change. Just the quiet tide of your breath. Just the vastness of the dark sky above you. Just the softness rising inside. Tonight, you walked through imagery that mirrors the inner world you rarely have time to touch. The river taught you flow. The cup taught you clarity. The lamp taught you warmth. The kite taught you freedom. But the teachings are done now. They have softened into feeling. They have dissolved into the body. There's no more thinking to do. No more remembering. Just sinking. Just breathing. Just drifting. Slowly. Deeply. Peacefully. A gentle darkness settles. Not emptiness, but fullness. Like the quiet glow of a candle after midnight. Like the warm hush of a room just before sleep. Like the sky when it holds the last line of light. Let that darkness hold you. Let it wrap around you like a soft blanket laid across your shoulders. You are safe here. You are seen here. You are supported here. Even the wind outside moves more quietly now, as if whispering, "Rest. You've done enough." And you have. You've opened. You've softened. You've released. Now there is nothing left but the rise and fall of your breathing, the slow drift of your thoughts, the quiet beat of your heart, and the gentle hum of a universe that holds you without question. If a thought appears, let it float. If a memory rises, let it pass. If a feeling stirs, let it soften. Everything tonight is allowed to move without resistance, just like the river, just like the wind, just like the night. You don't have to hold anything. Not now, not here. Let the mind widen like an open sky. Let the body melt like warm wax. Let your awareness grow quiet as moonlight on still water. And as you drift between waking and sleep, you may feel something gentle touching the edges of your heart. A small warmth, a soft light, a peaceful recognition, the sense that you are exactly where you need to be. Not running, not chasing, not gripping, just floating, just breathing, just being. The night wraps around you like a familiar friend. The darkness deepens, but never threatens. The silence expands, but never feels empty. You are held, completely, tenderly, effortlessly. Let yourself fall into that holding. Let your breath become slower, softer, like the tide coming to rest. Allow the body to sink deeper. Allow the mind to grow quieter. Allow sleep to rise toward you like a gentle tide lifting a small boat. No struggle, no resistance, only surrender, only trust, only peace. And if this space has brought you comfort, if this hour has softened something inside you, you are always welcome to return. Whenever you need calm, whenever you need rest, whenever you need a place to breathe, Moonlit Zen Sleep is here for you. But for now, let all words fade. Let all effort fade. Let all sound fade. You are drifting into the deepest part of night, the part where dreams begin, the part where the heart opens, the part where peace rests. Let go and fall gently into the quiet.